I mean, I'm not saying you have to wear a hairband, but she's pretty.
This is why it's not supposed to be medical.
I'm not even sure whether or not the microphone is working yet, so that's a thing. But hey, we got a bot, so that's cool.
I can hear you.
All right. Big question is, will we be able to hear you?
Yes, you can.
Hello, Rainbow. For a minute there, I was like, I had no idea where my phone was, so I'm just really kind of freaked out. It's echoey again. Why is it echoey again? Is that better? I think that was it. I think it was the camera setup. Let's do this. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL. And wow, we got so much going on here today. I made a bunch of progress since last week. And yeah, a lot of exciting news and other things. Hey, Amanda. All right, so we got Amanda, we got Rainbow. So Rainbow had a chance to find out about something that we had kind of cooking here. That of course other people wouldn't because she is a Patreon supporter. So Patreon people got to find out that there's see this little box here? So it's not exactly easy, but we have something new. Check it out. We have Mandy Cam. After all these weeks of talking about it, we actually have Mandy Cam. So yay. I think it's pretty neato. It's a bit of a headache because I can't get my main software, which is like I can just touch a key and make it happen. Um, it doesn't work um, with having the two cameras. I have no idea what the heck's going on with that, but it is incredibly frustrating. So yeah, but we have a Mandy Cam now. Um, Other good news, longtime viewers of the channel will know that I have a pet named Mr. Reddington, and the last time I reported about him, was not doing well. He had this weird thing where it was like he had a bubble in the back of him, so he was kind of float around and really struggle. Well, I did a little research. I heard that there's a possibility of it being an infection, and I knew that there was a thing about using dried almond leaves, and you put those in the water, and it makes the water kind of look like a very light, very, very light tea. And I'm happy to report Mr. Reddington is doing much better and swimming under his own accord now. So that's pretty exciting for me. So I'm really excited about that. As far as the project goes, wow. Um, yeah, huge, huge progress. We are past where the second one of this is like up in here somewhere is like the 6 inches out of the overall 18 inches that the whole thing will be. So, that's pretty good news. And this row that we're putting in here right now, this is, well, you can see I just got past the part where it gets reversed, right? This, which is 1/3 in. This is where I'm at the last part of adding the string is for this portion. There'll be one more time that I have to add string, but that's probably another close to 6 inches further down. So that's kind of a thing. Hey, hey, Charity. Everything's going really good. I mean, like I was just saying, my fish is doing better. I'm making mass progress. So there's, a lot of things kind of looking up around here. Um, Dad's kind of getting to a sense of normal. Hard to say that it's 100%. There's some strange quirks going on, but overall, not too bad. What else? Now that sounds interesting. How would you say that? Or whatever. That sounds interesting. What kind of festival is that, Rose? Charity, sorry. Okay. Sounds like fun. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, we have Mandy Cam. I don't have to leave that on, I suppose. Hang on, let me see if I can figure out what buttons to push over here. It's, like I said, I have to actually use a mouse, which I can't see my keyboard super well. There. There we go. So anyways, um, this way she doesn't have to feel like she's on the, spot all the time, I guess. Oh yeah, secret word game. That's another thing. Yeah, we still have the secret word game going on. Let's see. That's this button. So, yay! What's the word? Say it in the chat. Win these cool bracelets. Hey, I'm so lucky that you come and join us, Amanda, because I swear to God, I never remember half the things I'm supposed to talk about. I'm in my own little world here, just excited that my fish is doing well and whatever other weirdness things going on. Yeah, it has been this one. So the one before this was kind of similar in the fact that it just seemed to take forever for anybody to get the word, which that's okay. Um, but yeah. Um, what else? Oh, I'm picking up a new hobby. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but it's begleri is how some of the YouTube people that I've been watching it, that's how they're pronouncing it. So I'll just go ahead and say that's it. No, you're not like a nagging auntie there, Amanda. You're fine. So let me show you this thing. This is pretty neat. So this they call this a monkey's fist, and there's one on either end of this little string, and the whole thing about it is spinning it around on your hands and between your fingers and doing little nifty tricks and stuff. And I have discovered that it's a lot of fun as like a fidgety toy, but it's also been increasing my dexterity in my fingers, which feels awesome after doing bracelets for many, many hours. Um, this actually feels like a great relief to the knuckles and stuff. So I'm really kind of excited about that. So got a couple more on order, different ones, different sizes and stuff. So yeah, pretty exciting. Ooh, wow, Cherry, that sounds really cool. That sounds like a good time to come over there and visit. We're sort of towards the middle of this thing. So trying to pull the strings to the back is a little bit harder because you can't tell which side to really pull it from. So yeah. Um, it is. It's like little tiny nunchucks. It is. And yeah, it kind of spins around and stuff. And yes, it comes flying out of my hands more times than I care for it to. Kind of like nunchucks were back when I was a kid. But yeah, it is a bit like that. And yeah, some of the tricks and stuff are really cute. I can't do much yet. And well, actually, so here's my epiphany for the week. Um, I know that a trait for ADHD is that we tend to, if we can't learn something right away and immediately pick it up and be good at it, we don't tend to do it. We'll put it down and just forget about it. And I can list all kinds of examples, like when I started making bracelets. I was only taught how to do one thing, and I excelled at it. So I went and did that until I learned how to do more, right? But because I picked it up immediately, that was great, right? Well, this thing of twirling the little balls around in my hand, I did not pick up immediately. It is not coming exactly natural to me. And just because I've been diagnosed as being ADHD and that this is a trait of ADHD does not mean I have to settle for that as the result. It just means that if I want to accomplish something where, there's a benefit to it, which this will have multiple benefits. One, it's helping with my dexterity, and two, it'll be helpful in those times where maybe I'm waiting outside the um, changing rooms or something at the mall or whatever. It's something I can carry around in my pocket and I can play with it while I'm waiting for my wife, or other times where I might have like anxiety things. It's a nice fidgety kind of activity that can, instead of just being a spinner where that's basically really pretty simple, this is a little bit more complex, a little bit more fun. So rather than just kind of blowing it off because I'm not immediately good at it, I am going to, I know what my shortcoming is and I can push forward through it. So, just because, and I've been trying to be a strong advocate for people with ADHD, and I totally get it. Like it's not easy. There are certain drawbacks, there are certain things in our brains that are sort of hardwired or whatever. But just because there is a trait doesn't mean that you have to just say, oh, well, that's not something I can do because I have this condition. You can work through these things knowing that that's not necessarily going to be your strong suit, and you can move forward. Like saying, and a good example with the bracelet stuff is you could say, I don't have the patience to do something big. However, if you just had enough patience to do work for 1 hour a day, eventually you could accomplish any size project. It just takes more number of days. And knowing that, and knowing that, it's all things are obtainable if you have the willpower, then yeah, hopefully this inspiration will drive some people to trying new things and being excited about it. I know that I've seen some bags here recently on Instagram that were I'm gonna have to say heavily influenced. They didn't mention me by name, but some of the taper down process and some of the other things were definitely there. So yeah, and it was 288 strings for that one, so like same number of strings as what's in this. But whatever. I mean, I don't need to be credited if they came to it on their own, then that's cool too. But yeah, that's my epiphany for the week. So yeah. Yeah, right. And for me, like um fidget toys in general are like a huge thing, right? So like I have a couple that I use, and yeah, it's more than just like a toy. It's it's a sense of relief in whatever. It's cool. Wow. uh, she wasn't paying attention. I thought fortunately, the computer doesn't go ping when I'm changing it, so that's anyway. But yeah, so a lot of progress here. I'm not sure how much string I have already pre-cut. Like, I didn't intend to get as far across on this part here as I have. It was just going on so easily. So I don't know. I don't know how late this tonight is going to be, but we'll see. Anyway, what else? So yeah, we have the secret word game still. Hopefully somebody gets clever about that one soon. The sound? Yeah, it's your father off the camera. Whoops. Um, so the black fidget toy that came from AliExpress actually. Um, some of the various toys and stuff I've looked at were extraordinarily expensive, and which of course led me to look to see whether or not it could be done cheaper from China, and the answer was yes, absolutely. So yeah. Right. Well, this one, all right. So this is the one I'm sure she's talking about. Um, this one, it's got like 5 magnets, so it can kind of slide between things. But if you kind of, it can be loud, but it can also be fairly quiet. If you're wanting to be discreet, you can kind of play with it by spinning it and stuff. It's kind of quieter that way, but or if you kind of have real control over it, it's not so bad. But if you kind of just let it, that can get loud. But this little thing, here, let's go on the. So this little thing is sort of, I've never done it above my head before. This thing's relatively quiet, completely quiet, and yeah, kind of works out. I don't know. It's it's only noisy when I accidentally like try something and it goes flinging across the room, and then my wife starts yelling at me. I come to think of it, she's really the noisy part of the thing. Yeah, it's come close. I have not hit her with it yet. It may. Yeah, it is quite noticeable. I think the closest has been at the dining table when it went flying over, and but yeah, I mean, it's it's an interesting thing. Oh wait, I never turned the music on. See, I'm really slacking here. But yeah, I mean, I can totally play with the stringy thing and keep it low key and don't try doing any tricks and or things I'm not whatever and I can keep it pretty low key. But there's a whole like I want to try doing more things with it and that's when, there's mistakes. So it is what it is. Yeah, and I have a few spinners. Trying to see if I have any within reach. I think I think my red one is in my backpack and my I got a cube that's got like different things on all the different size. That's in a different backpack. Like this gizmo, which wow, that looks really cool because it's spinning way faster, but the camera's only picking it up in like a really weird. Oh, that's really cool looking. Wait, is it gonna go back the other? Yeah, there it goes. That's awesome. And then I've got like this little guy, which, if you kind of get this thing moving around, the gears will kind of kink up on it, which kind of bothers me or whatever. But it's it's nice because it's got a nice tactile feel to it that makes it sort of interesting and fun to play with. But yeah, no, there's a number of different ones for. I kind of change them up periodically just to keep it interesting and yeah, this one kind of reminded me of like ships where how like they have like those kind of knobs or whatever when you're steering the ship. So yeah. All of them are relatively inexpensive for the most part. Like that black one, kind of an exception. That was 25, around $25, I think. But yeah, it kind of feels sort of acceptable when I think about like how like for example like at the funeral and stuff, usually sitting for that long around a lot of people and stuff, I get super uncomfortable. I very quietly was playing fidget toys and just trying to be low key and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it helped. It helped me a lot. It helped me to not be obnoxious for one. So yeah, makes it kind of worth every penny at that point. Yeah, I mean it does. That's kind of yes, like on the yacht. Well, I was thinking the bigger wooden sail ships, but same kind of. They have that same sort of whatever. I was afraid when I first got it. I was afraid that it was gonna, you know, when you try to spin it faster or whatever, that it would whack a knuckle kind of thing. But it really hasn't been a problem. So, but the like a spinner fidget toy does not do anything for like your finger dexterity or any of that kind of stuff. So yeah. Yeah, I can see where that could be kind of awesome. I could also see where that could be like, if it's not an appropriate time at an event or whatever, like people could get really freaked out. So yeah. Like if I went around the funeral asking people if they wanted a massage because, you know, I have tension issues, yeah, I think it would have been really awkward. But you know. But we have like a nephew who we kind of suspect the boy has ADHD as well, or at least some kind of a high-strung issue type thing going on. And one of the ones that we bought that's gonna come, probably it won't probably be here till next month. One of the ones that we got for him is, you know, to be, so that way he can play with it and get some, burn off some of that energy or whatever. And going with the premise that, you know, if you learn some new tricks, he could teach me, and see how that goes, see if that helps him to, because he comes over here and there's very little for, you know, him to do. He's what, 7, 6, 7, something like that. So there's very little for him to do, and he really bounces off the walls. So this will be a chance for him to look forward to coming over, and he can show me his new little tricks that he's learned and whatever. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So one of the things about adding the string right where we're doing it is the strings kind of got so short that I had really kind of no choice. They kind of needed to be done now. And that said, there's not that many knots for them to go on. So what I'm doing, like the top one, I can kind of pull that underneath, but the bottom one, there's really not enough knots there to secure it on. So the yellow, when I bring the yellow down, the yellow is going over both sets of strings, and that will help make sure that it can't unravel or whatever as I put this thing through the washing machine. So if you're kind of wondering what's going on there, that's what's happening. I can go over both of them, which I might as well. It'll help speed things up a little bit here. It'll just be a little bit more of me sorting it out on the next row along. And right now, there has been no strings cut, so the back of this thing is, there's just strings all over the place. It's really crazy. But once I get like another row or so done, it'll be real easy to tell which of the strings that were are replaced, and be able to cut them all off at once. It'll be a really pretty easy thing to do. No, I haven't. In fact, we were just talking about, so there's a kind of string that I want to sew it with, right? It's the, I never know how to pronounce the other name for it. It's catgut, but do you remember what that was called? Sinew? Sinew. So I was looking for some black sinew, so that way it would be really hard to notice the the string I'm sewing it up with. And um, the company in China has got some problems going on because you may have seen it on the news. They're doing like huge lockdowns and stuff of people trying to stop the coronavirus, right? So um, we've had to put off our order, and I'm not sure when that we'll be actually able to even get that yet. So that's one problem. Another thing we were talking about is maybe having our seamstress friend sew something on there for us. It wouldn't be as meticulous as me doing it, but it would get it done a lot sooner, and with the right thread or whatever, it might not be all that noticeable. I'm kind of thinking that like that kind of makes sense, if for no other reason, because at least it'll be done and I can stop fretting about it. Um, but no, it's kind of behind Mandy actually. It's right there. Working working the mouse is definitely not the easiest thing on this computer. There's two screens and they're not exactly parallel, so that's sort of weird. But yeah, I mean, if I could think of a smarter way, it is handy. It's fun. Of course, Mandy had forgotten all about it. Otherwise, I'm sure she'd have like full on makeup and everything else. Because, you know. I mean, there's no need. You don't have to use the emojis. You can just, you know, do the faces. So at this point here, this is where there's four strings, you know, because the strands are doubled up. So, but yeah, I can just go completely over that, and it's just that much more insurance that they're not going to come undone in the washer. So, and the size of the knot that goes over the top really doesn't look any different. So, yeah. Yes, but is it worth a few dozen likes? That's the important part. Like, I'm not seeing the likes on the video yet. So, yeah. But she's way more engaged. I noticed that she's given up on playing her little game. That she's. Uh, I give her credit though, for whatever it is. Somehow my wife can manage watching things like, Netflix or whatever, and work, and having a little time for playing, and balance that all out. Where me, I've been, I have not played the game that me and her both have. I haven't played it in at least a couple days, and all my time is relatively either been spent on this or stop for a little bit and play with the begleri. But for the most part, it seems like I'm always trying to, make effort, to do work. I don't know. I don't know why I can't seem to find a nice, coherent balance. So that's a good segue. How about we toss this in here and give a special thanks to Patreon supporters who get to have hangouts once a month, or well, potentially more. I have opened up the possibility of doing it more frequently, but at least once a month we hang out, chat, talk about what projects we're doing, and all kinds of other random things. So yeah. Yeah, so that is part of it, and there's a part of the I don't feel like I've put in enough time or effort into any work-related thing until my muscles are sore, my fingers are bleeding, kind of thing. Like I just feel like I should give it more. There's never enough effort going into something, and there's a whole not being able to accept that, yeah, you put in 5 hours, give it a break or something. Like there's just a whole, I don't want to say I'm punishing myself, but for some odd reason I just don't like, oh, that you could do better, that you weren't giving that all your 100%, so you need to do more. And there's like I berate myself probably way more than I should. Yeah, so that sinew stuff, Rainbow, is another name is catgut, and it is ridiculously strong. Kind of like how with like dental floss, how you can like pull it all you want to and it'll cut into your hand before like it snaps. It's sort of like that, but thicker and way more intense. Like it just holds up really, really well. It does. It is. It is a sort of a guilt trippish feel. I'm not sure if it actually goes in the category of the imposter syndrome, like where you feel like you're not adequate enough or something. I might be kind of in along those lines. But yeah, I always feel like I should do more, you know, or I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, the sinew, yeah. It's my trolley is turned around so that way Mandy's got a nice blue background. Otherwise it'd been all filled with stickers. Otherwise I'd be able to show you. Oh, I can show you this. Haha. So this string here, this is the sinew. And the thing is you can't use cotton string when you're sewing leather because the chemicals used to preserve the leather will eat away at the cotton. So you need sinew or something like that in order for it to work. And then the other side's got some bracelet-y stuff, and you can see the rest of the sewing. So yeah, I keep a fountain pen with me. That's very cool. I don't know if, can you see that? Mandy and Kevin. It's so sweet. My wife got me this, and this is the pen that I have been wanting for ever and ever because it is it's brass and it'll show its age and it'll look amazing 10 years from now. It will show all kinds of usage and yeah, I don't know why I just have a big hang up on that kind of stuff. I love things that are built to be heirlooms. And yes, and as your fingerprints have helped to taint it. But yeah, that's another ADHD thing is we have poor memories, and typically speaking, right? So rather than just saying, oh, well, I'm sorry, I'm just not going, likely to remember it. I have discovered that if I write things down, not only will I be able to go back in case I suddenly wait, what was that thing I was supposed to remember? If I'd completely forgotten it, but for some odd reason, the act of actually writing things down actually helps improve the chances that I'll remember what the thing was. I don't know if it's the trying to spell it out, or if it was the act of putting it on the paper, or seeing it on the paper, or whatever it is. It actually causes me to actually remember it better, and for whatever it's worth, that's good. That's how I've taken a known problem and turned it into something, having a coping way of doing it or whatever. So yeah. Patina, yes. I like that kind of, even if it's not patinaed, right? I love brass for the patina, right? But even if it's old wooden chair or something, you go into some people's homes, especially here in Asia, and they've got the wooden chairs, and you can just see the wear from kids and people, where they tend to sit or where they put their arms or whatever. Just the sign of it having been there for a long time. I think there's something neat about that. I like that a lot. But yes, I was kind of hoping for something like this pen back with our when we had the bronze anniversary, because I was thinking that would be kind of neat, but I got a robot instead, so that's actually this guy. But he, for whatever reason, he won't patina. Yeah, I don't. The sad part is I don't have a number of the other things for the robot that I have like for the regular videos, so I can't make him like get knocked over by the subscribe button or the other things. But yeah. Oh, so tomorrow have some big plans. I'm gonna go visit my wife's. Is he your uncle? Kind of like an uncle. Uncle. Gonna go visit my wife's uncle, who is this really sweet guy, who um he used to come over maybe once a month or so back before all of the problems and stuff that mom and dad had. And recently, while he was at mom's funeral, um, just kind of got the vibe like that he's a bit alone and stuff. And he carries around a bag with him that's kind of like you would get like if you were buying a new pair of shoes or something, you were going to carry shoes in it. Like, and that just keeps the whatever he needs that, you know, if he's going to be away from the house, these are the little items that mean something to him. And so I went and I got him a little sling bag, and I'm going to surprise him with it tomorrow and introduce him to the fun of having a bag that you can bring around to in front of you and have all your things organized right within in your grasp. And it's got room for a water bottle, and it's going to be all kinds of, it's going to be a huge change for him for sure. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how he takes that, because man, kind of neat. Yeah, once upon a time I said you could never have enough string, and then we started buying it in like 6 and 7 and 8 kgs worth, and so now I kind of know that you can have enough string, but it doesn't last indefinitely. So yeah, is that kind of a fair assessment? Ain't that right? If you need to, Amanda, if this is a hint that you're dropping that you need to come by and visit again and pick up more string, I'll understand. It's okay. I have I have all the string for various projects that I need already set aside where those aren't in the tubs that I present to you. So I'm very clever at how I share my string. Yeah. Yeah, if string is your like therapy, like if this is for me, tying knots and stuff can be very therapeutic. If that's your thing, then yeah, running out is terrible. You are hereby tempted. Yeah, there's, and if you ended up buying all the string that were in those two totes, I still have enough left reserved to actually keep me busy for at least a couple months. And in those couple months, I could just order more. So yeah, you are not hurting me. Plus, I have the totes. Like, seriously, the totes in this thing. Oh man, there's a lot of string there. I used to run out of black a lot, but then as I've gotten older and discovered that black is the one color that really gets to me with like my eyesight, like I've kind of slowed down on that one. But yeah, I totally get it. 310 was like a huge, like I actually know the number by heart. So yeah. Oh yeah, Amanda, you definitely have to come out here if she's gonna do some baking. Maybe we can get her to do the zucchini chocolate cake. So, so this doesn't end up feeling like it's just an inside joke and that we're all having fun with Amanda. The last time Amanda came over, Mandy baked some banana bread, and oh my God, it was delicious. It was amazing. And if that's what it takes to get yummy baked goods in the house, then yeah, we will be inviting Amanda over every chance we get because, yeah. Well, Rainbow, all you got to do is come over here. You know, take. Didn't you have a private jet? Get in your private jet. Get over here. Yeah, Rainbow, if you could come over and visit, there'd be so many places we would want to take you. There'd be so much fun stuff for you to check out and foods to eat and yeah, I was just thinking maybe if Rainbow got like really, really high and then just kind of floated over here, you know, no. If this was a monetized channel, I probably just lost my chance of being monetized like right there. But whatever, it's a good joke. Yeah, I've been trying to get my sister to come over here for, well, 11 years now. And still no luck for that. I get it. We're a long way from everything except for like all these fun destinations that are directly around us. But yeah, for most people, it just seems like a long, long flight. Blazing new trails. Anyway. I don't know if Charity's still here, but she's a lot closer. If she ever comes to Singapore, she too could get shown around. Is it 13-hour flight? Is that what you're counting, or you're counting it's 13 hours? Jesus. Yes, we could. That would be awesome. I would love to go to the Philippines personally. It'd be a lot of fun. Hey, Charity, we were just talking about you. We were talking about how much fun it would be to come visit. Hey, Maris. What is balut? Is it? It's a fertilized. Okay. No, 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 no. That's no, no. I want. If I go to the Philippines, I do not want that. I want dynamite. Or no. Is it dynamite? Dynamite. Yeah, we were just talking about like if you ever came to Singapore, we would definitely show you around. But then Mandy brought up the valid point that if the more likelihood would be us going to the Philippines, and I was saying how in favor of that I would be because I like dynamite. And for anybody who doesn't know what that is, it's a rather large green pepper. It's a little bit spicy. Not people tell you it's really spicy, but for me, it's really not that spicy. But whatever. A spicy pepper that's been cut open, filled with cheese. Some recipes actually have minced meat in there with it as well, and then it's wrapped in um, a spring roll, like a papillon, like like little thin. Um, it's not like bread. I don't know how to describe it. Like for people who don't know what papillon is, I don't know how to help you. But it's like this thin. Oh, Popion. Popion skin. It's like a spring roll. Okay, so it's a real thin whatever, and then it's deep fried, and they are delicious. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm not gonna say I'm down with like all the cuisine, but that one definitely I could eat a few dozen of those. And oh, Popians are Chinese burritos. Wait, used to crack mom up at the fact that I could roll them so well. Little did she know where I learned the talent of how to twist up something like that. wonder if there's a way. Give you a little bit of a bigger view of the whole overall. So yeah, there's so much done. It's actually it's curled over the top. No. We do not have Taco Bell here. Can you believe it? There is no Taco Bell. I have not had a Taco Bell in 12 years. We do have other Mexican stuff though, so there is like burritos and nachos and taco. I played that part of the video on YouTube, right? I say no, they're not the same. I say taco, they say taco. Taco. Yeah, there's a difference between not much and none at all. Like I would go all the way across the whole island here just to go have a Taco Bell once, you know, periodically. But yeah, it's not like a, well, I can bike ride from one end of the island to the other and back. So yeah, if there was one anywhere on the island, I would go to it. No problem. But we finally have Little Caesars pizza, so I'm not complaining too much. I could really go for Little Caesars though, man. Oh man. That's the good stuff. So how many hours is that by a bus or whatever, like public transit, Rainbow? Yeah. Dynamites are awesome. So it's kind of like our train system. There's like places on the island that could take us an hour to get to. It'd be, you know, longer by bus or whatever. But yeah, still, at least it's an option. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to explain that to somebody who's never had it before. Like if you were going to explain that wrapper to somebody in England or the United States, like what would you compare it to? It's paperishly thin. Yeah, but I think the spring rolls in America are like way thicker. Like honestly, it's kind of there's kind of a huge difference. Like Popion they're just so thin. Mind you, you wrap it up enough times, it gets thick enough, whatever, but it's... Yeah. Yeah, the outer stuff. Yeah. guess that is a thing. Yes. I'm trying to make sure that, like, that's the same thing. My brain hurts now. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've done American. But yeah, egg rolls were a thing, right? Mind you, when I came over here and I was told that there's a whole such diversity of food that I could find pretty much anything that I could imagine, I would be able to find it here. So I came here and I immediately was like, okay, cool. I want egg foo young. And everybody was like, what? And I'm like, egg foo young. It's something I get at Chinese restaurants. So we did the research to find out why nobody knows what this thing is. And not only is it not Chinese, but it's limited to Southeast Michigan. Like, it's only found at Chinese restaurants in Southeast Michigan. So yeah, hella shocked. So then, you know, I ended up showing Mom what the recipe was, and she was like, oh, that's not too terrible. Whatever. So she goes and she makes this thing, right? And now I imagined that she was making a portion for me. Like, because this was my whatever, the thing that I missed. So she, you know, she makes this dish and I eat the hell out of it. I downed the whole damn thing. How many eggs were in it? 8. 8 eggs in this dish. This dish was meant to feed like 3 or 4 people, and I went through it. Yeah. And yes, fortune cookies, the Chinese takeaway paper things, like that's not even a thing over here, like, or China, or you know, anywhere else. Like, have you ever seen the little paper boxes for the Chinese takeaway? Yeah. I wonder if Charity had paused her thing, and so she's like 5 minutes. Wow. Yeah, in America, they have this stereotypical waxed paper box that it's got like a little metal thing for like a handle to it, and like you can undo the box and make it so it folds out into like a really cool sort of plate. And yeah, I think they're awesome. And no, I don't know why nobody else uses it, but it's, especially since I'm sure that America is not making the little boxes. I'm sure that that's probably made in China. They probably just chuckle every time they make it too. Yeah, we got a lot of plastic boxes for takeaway, and still occasionally getting some styrofoam ones, but yeah. Yeah, if it's food related and it's something here in Singapore, you can probably bet that my wife knows about it. I can tell her. Remember that time we went to the mall and we saw the really cool jacket and it had the da 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 da? Nope. Do you remember when we went to the mall and we had this for lunch? Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that time while you're there, yeah. Oh, there's the wax paper wrapper. The you get that a lot with like the Malaysian things, like the what's the noodly dish that I just had with that recently? Mee goreng on the wax paper. Like that was pretty good. Yeah, I think it's like this hour of the night that suddenly like everybody just starts talking food related things. Like this is I know, but it's still for whatever reason at this point during our whole chat it turns to food. Like I don't know if it's her lunchtime or what, but it's you go back and watch the old videos and seriously. Yeah. Oh, Rainbow. Over here, we've got Indian food that would knock your socks off. Yeah, that's what Mandy was saying. It's just your tea time. Now, for me, there's not a lot of late night choices to be had. There is McDonald's within, you know, I could. Okay, so if we get on the bike, we could go to a lot of potential places. Okay, there are some delivery options. Okay, that's fair. I was thinking more of like what's in the immediate vicinity. Coffee Bean's not open at this hour, is it? The one at Wisteria is 24? I had no idea. I didn't know where anything. I don't know where stuff comes from. So I'm just sorry, a little in-house conversation here. I'm just discovering that there's food to be had that I did not realize. Yeah, Mandy just said that there's a Coffee Bean even closer than that one here, and suddenly I'm envisioning an original vanilla and one of those lovely little sandwiches, the little eggy kind of sandwich thing. Yeah, so Wisteria, I don't know if Amanda would have seen that on her visit, is kind of just a little bit further than Safra is away from us. Yeah. Essentially one bus stop away. So yeah. Yeah, I kind of want to try a Cornish pastry. Like that's tasty or whatever it is. Yeah. Rainbow, you have to use the special motivator to get her to come over. You got to tell her you have lots of string for her to choose from. Do we have English pies here? Oh, Rainbow, that's nicely done. I'm sure she's looking at Agoda or one of the other Travelocity things right now. Not me, though, all right? Yeah, I'd have to either be boxed up or be have my limbs detached. I think I'd rather might take my chances on floating. Thank you very much. So I have to say, there's been just even tonight a fair amount of progress here. Kind of rather pleased. I did take a bit of this afternoon off because I knew that if I do it, if I had gone and did a lot of knots earlier, that my fingers would be sore come this evening, which I'm glad I gave myself a little break. But yeah, from over here, already to here. Not too shabby. Mr. Reddington came out. He probably wants to be fed. Hang on a second. Hey, buddy. You see him, honey? He's doing so much better. Like he's swimming kind of half normal. Trying to get at the food. But he's doing good. I can't remember how many weeks ago it was. I remember though saying in one of my other live streams and stuff that I was afraid that he wasn't going to make it. He was really struggling to even just to get up to the top to get food. So I kind of felt like that was going to be the end for him. But today he's getting the food. He's coming out and kind of making himself be like well known. Like that's like the thing. Like I'll feed you when you come over here and you start to do the thing or whatever. And yeah, there he goes. He's got something of an appetite now. Good for him. It's 18 inches by 18 inches, which is apparently kind of a standard cushion, I guess, a couch cushion. I don't know. Is there like actual standards for cushions that people put on couches? I mean, yeah, but I've been to people's houses where they're round like your red and orange bag, and no, right, right. So apparently there are some standard sizes, and this is one of them. So yes, to answer the question easily, yeah. Yeah. No, 18 inches. I can like do this with my hands and my pinkies touch either end. It's not too terribly big. Right. Yeah, and I think shoving a 20-inch pillow into an 18-inch thing or whatever just makes it super tight and floofed or something. I don't know how that's going to turn out with this, but I imagine we will soon find out. And by soon, I mean a few more weeks, but yeah. Yeah, no, I have not mentioned when a tube one. I haven't. I have been so trying to just keep one project at a time done that I have not figured out even like how I would necessarily word or do another tube bracelet video. I should. I totally should. I'm running out of string over here. I need to cut more string. I didn't imagine I was going to get as much accomplished before this as I did. So some of that was today, some of that was yesterday. I forgot, was it to do the pattern like this in the tube? Was that what we were talking about? More of that poor memory thing. Oh, I know what I was going to mention. So if you guys get stuck on color choices. I should have done this earlier because this is really kind of cool. So you want to make a bracelet, you don't know what kind of colors, and you want to somehow come up with something. I got two methods for you. One of them I've mentioned before over on my webpage, akaawol.com. But the other one is something I just discovered here today. So let's go with the old one first. The old one is myphotostitch.com. They are a place where you can take an image and feed it to the computer, and it will try to create a pattern for cross stitch, which is fine and good and whatever, and you can skip the whole cross stitch pattern it generates because it'll give you the string colors in DMC, right? Which is basically the same colors, give or take, as what I get from AliExpress. But the neat thing with that is, and I'll give you an example of how I used it. I wanted to come up with a bracelet. I thought it'd be a cool idea to have a bracelet that was themed fire and ice. So I went through the internet and did like a Google image search, and I found a flame, and I just cropped out just the fire itself, and I gave it to the thing, and I told it I wanted it with a very limited number of colors, and it kicked out the colors for it, right? So I got four colors to be of that were like fire. So it was like reds and oranges essentially, right? So now I got that. Then I went and did a search for ice, and I got this really cool picture where at the edge of a glacier, these explorers found like a cave where the water had melted and whatever, and they were inside of the glacier itself. So it was these beautiful light blues and pearly kind of blues or whatever, but it was definitely ice. So I took that and I narrowed that down to four colors. So I created an 8-color bracelet in these two sets of colors, and it was my fire and ice. In fact, I made one of those on the flight from America to Singapore, and that was pretty cool. Like that was a thing. I wore it for like 6 years over here. So that was one thing. So it's myphotostitch.com. The other one that I just discovered just today is called hotpot.ai, and they have a color generator. Now this is using artificial intelligence to, I don't know where they're going through and looking at images or whatever, but you can pick like one color. Let's say you know that you want to have orange in it, but you don't know what other colors you might want to mix with it. The AI will let you pick from these colors and then be like, oh, okay, pow, and give these like, I don't think it's random, because the colors patterns the palettes that came out of it were rather interesting, and some of them were definitely like, wow, I would not have put this dark blue with this flaming bright pink and stuff, but somehow it really kind of goes really well together. So it's neat. It's hotpot, hotpot.ai. So yeah, and that one seemed to be free. You could do the color thing all you wanted. I tried to get it to generate images and stuff just to see what that was about, but it was taking forever. It never seemed to do it. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, if you get stuck for color choices and you're just trying to come up with an interesting palette and you don't know what to do, there is an option. And I don't know. I think that's an interesting take. Like if when somebody's looking at buying your bracelet and like, wow, what's the inspiration here? You can be like, yeah, a computer came up with those colors, and I just gave it life by putting those colors into a pattern, and there you have it. I think it's a kind of a cool trade between technology and something that's very organic. Because to me, even though these are like a lot of straight lines and stuff, there is something organic about it. There's something neat about how it interacts, all the strings interact with each other. So yeah, hopefully that will inspire you guys to do some other cool stuff And for Amanda, it'll just mean you need more string. So. Yeah, okay, I can do it. I'll make a note to dovetail tube tutorial. And I could see where I could kind of tie it in with this thing somehow, as far as, yeah, use some of this for like B-roll footage or something, right? But anyways, I am out of floss, and me cutting string while on video was not going to be nice because I'd be wandering back and across the back and forth across the room. So I think this is where I end this for now. I want to thank you guys for all hanging out with me. It's been a lot of fun. I want to thank my Patreon supporters for everything. Without them, a lot of this stuff just simply would not be possible, including the Mandy cam. So yeah, thank you guys for that. We will be back again here next week, Mandy cam and all. So hopefully we'll see you guys then. Hopefully you guys have some questions or thoughts, ideas, and that kind of stuff. And yeah, we can hang out, and who knows, maybe we can find something else besides food to talk about. So all right, I will see you guys next week, and as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.